ain't good money. Today, I'm here to talk about money, not how to make money, not how to invest money, but the type of money that you should probably leave alone. Everybody with money is not always your customer. Let's talk about it.
Direct, motivational, and unapologetic, delivered with both biblical wisdom and business grit. Structure of episodes, quick-hitting lessons, real-life metaphors, storytelling, and actionable takeaways in every episode. Value proposition with clarity and purpose, confidence in pricing and practical steps to scale. Unique twist, you blend faith, raw entrepreneurial experience, and real-world strategy.
Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurial Exchange. I am your host, Joe Charlton. Thank you for joining me today. Today, we are talking about money. Not money in the sense of how to make money or invest the money, but how to understand that all money is not your money. There's a certain type of clientele that you do not want to mess with. Before we get into that, tell you why we're in Entrepreneurial Exchange. Entrepreneurial Exchange was birthed from business owners getting together, just asking questions, learning from one another, learning and understanding that we don't know everything, that we always have the mindset that someone knows more than what we do. It's always they, and then we sit in our mess. But instead of just keep saying they, we just get together and ask each other questions. What is working for you, Joe? You've been in business for 17 years. How did you survive? How did you thrive in business over 17 years? How did you survive COVID? I had tricks where I told people, hey, look, I gained $8,000 during COVID because I sent out text messages during COVID. There were some companies that actually closed down. So right now, we don't know what the future holds. But when you have ammunition and when you have your arsenal tight, you never know when you're going to need it. It's like the word of God. Put it on your heart. You don't know when you're going to need it. So this platform was birthed just out of answering questions to individuals. And then me asking questions like, man, how do you do this? How do you, like right now, one of my things is I know how to get customers. I know how to get customers left and right. I know how to get them, but I don't know how to retain customers. Like pricing is not the only thing when it comes to retaining customers. Sometimes there's that relationship where you know them and you have this conversation. I'm so focused on business and keeping it afloat that I kind of miss the point where there's customer relations. There is up and coming new technology that I can't focus on because why? I'm in the back end. I'm in the end of the finances and different things like that. Yeah, I dibble and dabble in AI and paying for all these software. I found myself paying thousands of dollars for software, and I haven't even used everything. I bought classes and courses that I've been taking bits from, and whenever I can get to it, I can get to it because every day Joe is going out to actually work, not just solo, but I have an employee that works with me, but with the workload that we're looking to generate, we're out here doing things to bring on the income because we open up a new shop, we have the mobile van, and we're trying to throw out things to make this structure of a business. So the reason for this podcast episode today is we've always heard all money is not good money. But do we really know what that means and where that come from? Because money is money. If somebody's going to pay me, I'm going to do the job, right? Whatever the case may be, especially if my asking price. So this derived from last week. I was on location. My guy was on another job, whatever the case may be. I'm on one job location. So I'm out there detailing and I was just finishing up one car. I had a Mazda, like an SUV. I shouldn't have said the model, but so you know the size. A Mazda SUV pulls up on me, right? And she begins to say, she asked me, how much? And I looked in the car and it was filled. I'm talking about filled to the brim with stuff. And I was like, I can't give you a price because I don't know what you mean for cleaning. I mean, do you just want the outside? She's like, no, I want inside and outside. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of throwing me off, whatever. I said, ma'am, well, it's hard for me to give you a quote based on what I'm seeing right now. And she looks at my sign. And my sign says $100, right? And I'm sitting, and I was like, ma'am, that is for maintenance washes for people who typically keep up with their vehicles. But when it comes to, disaster vehicles or vehicles filled with stuff, we quote based on the condition. So she says, well, I'm going to go upstairs and I'm going to put my stuff up. I'm going to put my stuff up and I'm going to bring it back down. And so I said, okay, do that. Right. And while she's upstairs packing out her stuff, I'm going to tell you why I did what I did at the apartment complex. Because back in the day when I was doing this as a solopreneur, my prices were basically for my skill level, right? The quality that I brought, the expertise that I have, my price was $225, $350, $400, and it was whatever you need. I was for that customer for that price point. And believe it or not, my customers were getting more than what they are paying for based on what I was giving, right? Just trying to pull up the comments here, see if any of you in the comments. But yeah, so if I charge the customer $500, they're still getting more than what they paid for because that's just my skill level. That's just what I do. People don't realize how clean something can come based on my skill level until it's actually done. So I had that price point. But after started getting coaching and training and everything else like that, we as entrepreneurs think that we actually have a business and or a company. So we have the company name, which 9 times out of 10 is our name. And if we don't do the work, the business doesn't work. We physically got to put our hand on the product, put our hands to the service, to the service business. We actually have to do a thing in order to get paid. And we call it a business. We call it a company. But all we did was make ourselves self-employed. So after getting this wisdom and this knowledge of growing a business, you can no longer be a solopreneur, Joe. You actually have to hire. What if this and what if that? And I'm like, man, I'm strong. There's no what ifs. Like, I'm not looking at it like that. But before you know it, I started hiring. When I started hiring, I thought if I teach you how to clean the windows perfectly, vacuum perfectly, do leather cleaning perfectly, door jambs, wash, wax, and engine and all that perfectly, that I can continue to do what I've been doing and just multiply it. But then I realized that my techs are not like me, because when I'm in the field, when I'm talking to a customer, I'm personable. They got them laughing, got them doing things, and I can speak off the top of my head, this, and I can show them the value. But when my techs went out there, they were there just to do the job. And then sometimes they will be giving away work for free. And sometimes they're out there for hours because why? Something that might take me an hour takes them 2 and 3 hours. And I'm like, okay, Joe, how are we going to do this? So I started getting some advice and whatever the case may be. And a lot of it is, okay, let's simplify this. When Ford did the mass production, it wasn't hand carving and crafting and all that stuff. It was an assembly line. Go, 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 go. And he started pumping it out. If you guys remember my first few videos, I talked about Henry Ford and how he, stayed in his lane with the Model T, and he just focused on that. He didn't switch up colors and rim sizes and none of that. He stayed in his lane. So I took on that concept, and that's how I got to the price point of $100. So my mindset of $100 is if I can get a car vacuum, wiped down, door jambs, rims, tires, and wash and dry, we can do that in 45 minutes to an hour. My guys always ask, how much do we get paid an hour, right? I tell them anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour. And how I do that is every car should be done in an hour. If that car is $100, they get anywhere from $20 to $30 an hour. So right now, it's about $30 per vehicle. It's not hourly. So if you do 2 cars an hour, that's on you. So my mindset was, I can get to these high rises, and in these high rises, it has like 400 to 500 cars in this garage. If I can get 10 vehicles per day, that's $1,000. The tech will get paid $300, not including tips. If they got paid $5 a car, that's an extra $50. If they got $10 a car, because our customers usually tip from anywhere from $10 to $20, depending on how you make them feel once you're done with their car. So the mindset was, okay, let me research apartment complex in a 20-mile radius of where I'm at. And what I did was I started getting donuts and cupcakes and different things like that. And I would hand them to the property manager with a business card and just saying, hello, who I am, my business card. Oh, sorry, I have my phone not on silent. So hand out my business card and whatever the case may be, right? And so currently we have about, I think, 2 or 3. I would say 2 just to be safe. I have about 2 apartment complexes, right? But my idea is if I can get 10 apartment complexes, right? And each one is doing 10 cars at $100. And remember, I choose the market that would be able to afford the $100 per vehicle, right? That's $1,000. $300 will go to the tech, which is really, really good money per day, right? $700 would go to the business, right? If we did 10 of those per day, 10 apartment complexes per day, allowing men and women to be great, to be in their field, doing what they do. And I can sit and coach them on how to be better and different things like this. We can generate over $7,000 per day. You do that by 20 days and do that by the month. That's like 142. That's 140. I don't know, 140 something $1,000 per month. Yes, Joe can go do details for $500 and $600. Joe can stay on the job and do, like my highest job I did by myself was $5,700, right? I was on my way to doing 10 grand, but I realized I was laboring myself. Window tinting, PPF, learning how to do all these things. It felt good bringing home that money, but when I went on vacation from making the money because I needed time off, it felt bad when I came back to notifications. And then when I called them back, they said, hey, I already found the detailer, because I decided to go on a cruise or go out of state with my wife and have some time off. So just focused on how to grow the business. And then when I started saying I just wanted to be the convenient detailer. So that's why we started doing the apartment complex. So the lady's back now. So the lady's back, and she came back with not all, like, this woman didn't take everything out of her car. It's like you said you're going up there to take everything out, right? But here nor there. When she parked it, she started taking out stuff and putting it to the side. And then she was like, hey, how much? So I say, look, it's normally $100, but I'm just going to go up $125. This lady negotiated so much, told me what another detailer did. He's in St. Pete, and she just didn't feel like driving over there and all this stuff. He does it cheaper. And I'm just sitting there like if that guy, like, if he gives you the confidence to go to him, you need to go to him. But at the end of the day, she was like, well, I just need it today. So can you do it for $120? And I was like, $125, ma'am. I'm only charging you $25 more than what it normally is. Well, is it going to, I want this and I want that. I say, ma'am. The quote I gave you was based on what we just pointed out. I gave you a quote on that. Now she's starting to point out other things. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So I started giving her a price. No, just stay at the 125, right? No, she said, stay at the 120. I said, ma'am, I looked at her right now at 125. Okay. She was like, okay. And it better be this and it better be that. I said, ma'am, I will probably knock your socks off with the quality that I give, because all it is some extra APC and wipe down, and I have to move faster so I can get it done in an hour. Because if it's simple, I don't have to move as fast. But if it's a little bit aggressive, I have to do it a little fast so I can be in that window. I want to go home, but I guarantee clean or it's free. That's just my motto, right? So we talked so much and negotiated for like 7 or 8 minutes. This felt like forever, right? While she's taking stuff out of her car and talking. She leaves. I do her car. I get to the outside and I'm like, oh, this lady got so much love bugs on the front. So I'm like, okay, hold on. I text the lady. I sent her a video of her vehicle. And I say, ma'am, it has love bugs. The amount of love bugs is normally about $40 for what she had on her windshield and everything else. Sorry, I did not see this. It's no different than going up under the seat and didn't see an extra food and different things like that, right? Because I'm looking from the driver's side with all 4 doors open. So I'm like, okay, no pet hair. That's the things I'm looking for. She has love bugs. And I'm like, oh. So I say, ma'am, your love bugs will not come off with a regular wash. It'll be 15. No, I'm so sorry. I said, ma'am, it's normally 40, but today I'll give it to you for 15 because we did not discuss that. And I did not see it because we were in, this long text message while I'm supposed to be working in her car. But I gave her a detailed message because I know the type of attitude she had. Next thing you know, she's like, that's not a part of the car wash. No. So I didn't respond. What I did was I washed the car and I had the camera on showing her I wash the front, very detailed. And then I sent her the video. She said, I'm not paying you anything extra. When she said, I'm not paying you anything extra, I took that very, very personal. Took that very personal. I'm sorry, but I did. So I continued to wash the car. I'm talking about the car she does construction work. So therefore, there was a film on the car. So not only did I have to wash it, I literally had to put a body shine from Underdog on the car because there was this little white haze that I'm supposed to be charging her for because she waited so long to get a detail. But she negotiated so much, it was hard to just tell her, look, this price increased because of all of the variables, like brake dust it's just the whole nine. So I said, okay, I'm just going to do this car for $125. I did it. She comes down and she's talking nice, but then she proceeds to go to the front of the vehicle. Oh no, this is unacceptable. My car should have been spotless and whatever. I say, ma'am. I said, I sent you a video. Did you watch it? Did you not see it not come off of the regular wash? And I showed her this chemical and this bug scrubber, the bug pad, is what takes that off. It takes some scrubbing. I proceed to go and show her in her face, but I'm like, no, Joe, don't do that. Because once I put the bug cleaner on her car, I now have to rinse it off because it can't sit on her pan. I'm like, no, I'm not dealing with this lady with this. I say, ma'am, it is $125. She's like, no, this is unacceptable. Inside of the car looks good. Outside of the car looks good. Wheels look good. Door jambs, windows, everything, right? I got a garbage can about this big. It's probably like about 13, 14 inches high. And it was filled with her garbage. So I took that garbage and I poured it all in the bag and put it in her trunk, right? And she said, my car didn't have that much trash. I said, ma'am, this is your trash right here. I showed her receipts and stuff with her name on it. That's not that much. Okay, cool. I dug that out of your car, right? But here nor there. I say, ma'am, it's going to be $125. She goes, no, I'm only paying you $100. I said, okay, it's okay. If you want to pay me $100, I'm not accepting it, but that's what you want to do. Cool. So she begins to ask me my Zelle, and I'm not here to get detail like that, but this actually rubbed me the wrong way where I knew from the beginning that I should have not accepted this lady's car keys. I should have said, thank you very much. I am not the detailer for you. Because there are some customers, no matter how much work you do, it's never going to be enough for what they pay you. To me, her whole MO was to get me at the price the dude that washes her car in St. Pete does. So my $100 was too high because she said it. I knew not to use you. Your price is too high. I said, ma'am, it's love bugs. There's not a wash that you can go through that can get love bugs off without actually going through the process, ma'am. So with that being said, I will only charge you $15. I will pull out my chemical and I will scrub it. And at this point, I now have to wax the front because why? Your car is already washed and that's even more product. Do you want it? I am not paying you any more money. I said, ma'am, okay, I understand, but it's $125. And I stood my ground until she paid me $125. By why? I kept working on the other car that was there. And I let her over there bicker and do all that she can do. We as professionals sometimes believes that if a customer gets loud with us, we have to break and go down on who we are and what we do as professionals, just in case, not even say just in case, but they're going to tell the world about us. I'm here right now, and I'm telling you straight up, I am not moved by a customer getting loud and irate because I did the job. I'm not here to argue with you as a customer. I'm here to just say, hey, that's the price. She goes, where's my keys? I say, ma'am, you said you're going to Zelle. I haven't received a Zelle yet. She got mad. And I said, I'm sorry, ma'am, but this is my process. And I continue to work on the car. For the next 5 minutes, she's on the phone doing whatever she's going to do. And then she says, did you get the Zelle? I say, one moment, let me confirm. And I proceeded to look at my Zelle. Yes, I received the $125. I thank you. Well, can I have my keys? Cool. And I walked over to my van and got it off the hook and gave it to her. I say, ma'am, I'm so sorry if you never use my service again. I wish I could have gave you a better quality, but I'm not capable. I told her just like that, because I'm not capable of giving you free things to make you happy. My job is to do the job at my price because I know my costs. I know my variables. I know my overhead. 90% of our 90% of car wash customers, they want you to do it for free. And then they want to tip you to tell you they appreciate you. But the tip is never your asking price. The tip is what they feel are regular car wash charges because they want to put all detailing, all car washes in one box. And I am not that guy. So I'm here to tell you that all money is not good money. You have to know ahead of time if you want to deal with a customer. But it sucks when you get this feeling from this customer and you don't do it. Now you have the, what if they would have paid my price plus more? You got that in the back of your head. So you kind of go with it. But I am going with the red flags from the jump because it serves when I'm triggered by a customer that looks like they want to negotiate and they want to compare you to everybody that they quote unquote use. And it's like, well, why are you not using them? Why are you coming to me? All these little words. And every time I give them a price, they give me something new and ask me, does it include that? It's like, no, you should have told me all of the things and then let me give you a price. Every time I give you a price, you add something. And when I give you the quote for that, when that customer gets a little bit of an agitation because I'm adding prices, red flag, the customer is not for me. It is time for me to grow my business and get to these 10 to 20 apartment complexes to where, look, all money is not good money. And I'm not here to be nasty, but when you get busy, you can spot the nonsense from miles away. But when you are broke and bills are due and things are tough, you start taking on headaches because why? You are a little too lackadaisical of not trying to generate income in your business. So people get to railroad you. So I'm going to tell you right now, even if things are going well in your business, you better get to marketing. Get to marketing now, even though you are overflowed on cars right now. Because when you're not overflowed, you're going to wish that you promoted a month ago to actually fill into schedules today. A lot of us get busy and we take off the marketing, but we forget about that in between when now all those jobs are done because your marketing, your funnel was turned off way back when. Yeah. Hey, sugar, how you doing? Ain't no way. Got to be your last time serving here. Of course, it has to be. It has to be because I told her thank you. And I did put it off on me. And I said, I'm sorry that I could not give you the quality that you, I just told I wasn't capable. And in my meaning and understanding, I'm not giving away nothing for free. I can't give you what you want in the price that you're trying to tell me you're going to pay me. Just like Walmart, they put it off on their higher ups. I'm a solopreneur. Not a solopreneur. It's me. I have my tech and I have my wife. We all work in the company together, right? We're growing. But as a small company, they get to meet the face and they think they can talk to the face any kind of way they want to. But you have to make it in your mind. It is out of your control. If you have to think about your spouse or the person at the office, I'm sorry, but they won't allow that. You got to put it off on they. But when you put it off on you, they're going to look at you and they're going to challenge you. So you better put a buffer between you and the customer. So with that being said, I'm just here to tell you that we're in the business to make money, but all money ain't good money. All right. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm your host, Joe Charlton. It is better to be seen than it is to be viewed. And if you're going to be alive, you might as well live. Thank you guys. Peace.
Direct, motivational, and unapologetic. Delivered with both biblical wisdom and business grit. Structure of episodes, quick hitting lessons, real life metaphors, storytelling, and actionable takeaways in every episode. Value proposition with clarity and purpose. Confidence in pricing and practical steps to scale. Unique twist. You blend faith, raw entrepreneurial experience, and real world strategy.